Okay, guys, let us take a closer look into these equations. Exercise number 2 from this textbook that I'm using here, we are given that solve the following equations and check your answers. All right, so the first part of this exercise, they need you to check the answer on each and every part that you're going to have. So we had equations where we are just given a typical equation that we had was of this nature. 5x plus 2 is equivalent to maybe 3x minus 1, right? Just something of that nature. Where you're to collect the terms, the part of x, where there's x, the constants, where there are constants. All right, this is what we had in our previous exercise. I transpose this, so that will be 5x minus 3x. Okay, it was a positive, so the moment it crosses the equal sign, it changes its sign. I transpose the positive to this side, it's a positive, this side, it's a minus. So this is going to be equal to minus 1 already on the right-hand side, minus the 2. So that's 2x from 5x minus 3x. So this is going to give us 2x, which is equal to minus 1, minus 2, which is minus 3. So if you are to divide by 2, just like what I explained from the previous class, that we're going to have something like this. So you see that this procedure here, you are going to have it, yes. We are going to have it, but it's not direct. You are going to expand the brackets first to have that procedure. So you see, it's just a continuation of that part. But this time you have to expand the brackets first. So like what you're given on question number 1 of A, this is 5 into the bracket of x minus 1, which is equal to 4 into the bracket of x plus 1. So how do we solve this equation? They are brackets this time. So what I need is to expand the brackets, just like what we did in normal algebraic expressions. 5 is the one expanding this bracket. Move on to this, 4 is the one expanding this bracket. So that means 5 is going to multiply everything. 5 times x, that is 5x. 5 times negative 1, which is negative 5. So this is equal to 4 multiplies everything. 4 times x, that's positive 4x. 4 times 1, which is a positive 4. So as we can see, we are now back to the stage that we had in our previous class. This is what we are used to. This is what we are used to. So I can transpose the 4x to this side of the equation so that it'll be a minus or positive. So that'll be 5x minus 4x, which is equal to, transpose the negative 5, this side is going to be a positive. So that's 4 plus a 5. 5x minus 4x, that is going to give us 1x, which is x. 1x, which is same as x. So this is equal to 4 plus 9, 4 plus 5, which is a 9. So if I divide by 1, guys, this is just x. So there's no need even of us dividing by that 1. X is equal to 9. But they need us to test these solutions that we are given, or to check these solutions. When x is equal to 9, does it satisfy the condition that the left-hand side will be equal to the right-hand side? So let's consider that. We are given the value of x. We have solved this. Our x is 9. So on the left-hand side, this is 5 into x, which is 9. 9 minus 1. This is equal to 4 into x plus 1. So it's going to be 9 plus 1. All right, so this is 5 times 9 minus 1, which is 8. And this is equal to 4 into 9 plus 1, which is a 10. 5 times 8, that is a 40. This is equal to 4 times 10, which is a 40. So as we can see that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. So that means our x is true. The value of x is correct. So values can be checked. You can check, you can test your solutions. So these are the questions that you're going to have. I want you to try as many questions as you can. Let's see number 4. On question number 4, we are given 3 into the bracket of m plus 2. Then minus 3, minus actually the bracket of 3 minus m is equal to 5. So it's a very, very important question for us to do this one. So you try the questions where there's a challenge, let us communicate so that we can do those questions. How can we solve for m? There is a bracket, there is also a bracket. So what is multiplying this bracket? We can properly see, or we can clearly see that there is a positive 3. But what about this bracket? What is affecting this bracket? You can see that there's a minus. There is a number there. The minus there means there's a -1. So the part that is going to expand this bracket is the -1. So you expand by a -1. So let's expand. 4 is going to multiply everything in this bracket, right? So that's, 3 is going to multiply everything. 3 times m, which is 3m. 3 times a +2, that's a +6. We are done. Multiplies everything in the first bracket. The second bracket, this one, is affected by a -1. So it's -1 times 3, which is -3. -1 times a negative, that's a +m. And this is equal to 5. So we are going to collect our like terms. Again, this is m, which is same as +1m. So we are simply adding this part of 3m and this part of 1m. Those are the like terms that you're considering, the part of x, the part of m. So 3 plus a 1, that is going to be 4. So we've got 4m, 6 minus 3, that is a +3. And this is equal to 5. Just like any other equations that we had, we are going to see that in this case, we have to transpose the 3 to the other side of the equation. So there is going to be a -3. So 4m is equal to 5. Then we subtract a 3 on this side. So it's going to be a -3. So that's 5 minus 3. So we're actually subtracting a 3, which is going to give us a 2. Divide by 4. Since this is a multiplication, we divide to obtain the value of m. And that is going to give us a 1/2. If we divide by 2 here, 2 into 2, that's 1. 2 into 4, that's a 2. So m is 1/2. Let us check. With the value of m that we have determined, or the value of m that we have calculated, if we are to substitute here on the left-hand side, we have got 3 into m, which is a half. So that's half plus a 2 minus the bracket of 3 minus m, and our m is 1/2. If we simplify this on our left-hand side, when we substitute m where there is m there, we substituted 1/2. We are supposed to obtain our answer as a 5. We are supposed to obtain our answer as a 5. So just add this 1/2 plus a half. That is going to be 1/2 plus a 2. Sorry, 1/2 plus a 2. That's 5/2. So it's 3 into 5/2 minus 3 minus 1/2. That's 3 minus 1/2, like this. So that's 5/2. This one is going to give us a 5/2. So that means if we are to multiply 3 times 5/2 like this, on this one is going to be 15/2. So 15/2 minus 5/2. Remember, you're subtracting and the denominators are the same. Simply subtract the numerators. So that's 15 minus 5, which is going to be 10/2, and 10/2 is a 5. And that is exactly what we are having on the right-hand side. We are having a 5. So it means you can test your solutions. You can actually test your solutions in each and every case that you are given that one to do so. Just test your solutions, which is fine. All right. So that was the part A. So the part B is just to solve. There is no need for us to test, but you can test if you are to do so. But on A, it was something that you were supposed to do. It was an instruction that was given. But on B, it is just to solve. All right. But as you can see, it's just the same situation like what we had, considering question number 1, 4 into 2x minus 1 is equal to x plus 3. Still, we have got the same situation, the same type of equation that we had, where we have to expand the brackets, collect our like terms. 4 multiplies 2, that is going to be 8x, 4 times -1, which is a -4. So 4 multiplies everything in that bracket. On the right-hand side, we do not have a bracket. It's just x plus 3. So as you can see, at this stage, we do not have a bracket. So that's where we can collect the like terms, the part of x on its own, the -4 on the other side. So if x is transposed this side, if it is taken over the equal sign, it changes its sign to a minus. It was a positive x. The same thing with the -3. Once it crosses the equal sign, it changes its sign. It was a -4. Once it crosses the equal sign, it becomes a +4. It was a -4 before, a +4 at the other hand. So that's it. We are going to subtract here. That's 8 minus 1, which is going to be 7x, which is equal to 3 plus a 4, that's a 7. So if 7x is equal to a 7, what about x? We are multiplying there, you divide because you're multiplying. So if you divide by 7, you're obtaining the value of x. And that's going to be a 1. The opposite of multiplying is to divide. So these are the typical cases. So I want you to prove this. You're going to see that truly the left-hand side will be equal to the right-hand side. So that's the type of question that you're going to have. Number 4, we are given -5 into the bracket of 1 minus 3x, which is equal to 4 into the bracket of 3 minus x, and we are adding a 2 after that. So if we are given this situation, you are going to see that the -5 has to multiply the first bracket. The -5 has to multiply this bracket. The 4 has to multiply this bracket. 2 has nothing to multiply. It is just to be added at the end. So let's distribute by -5. If you distribute this by -5, -5 times 1, that is -5. -5 times -3. So it's negative times negative, which is a positive, and that will be positive 15x. This is equal to expand by 4, the other bracket here, 4 times 3, that is 12. 4 times -1, which is -4x. The 2 is just there to be added to the answer that you're obtaining here. It is not expanding anything, no. It's to be added. It is supposed to be added to your answer. So this is it. -5 plus 15x is supposed to be equal to, let's add on the right-hand side, we can simplify. There is a 12x, there is a 12 here, and there's also a +2. These are constants, so they can be combined together. 12 plus 2, that is going to be a 14. So we've got 14 minus 4x. So now we can collect the terms of x to one side of the equation. Here I'm having a positive 15x. So I'm having positive 15x. Transpose the negative 4x to the other side of the equation. The moment it crosses this equal sign, it changes to be a positive 4x. So this is equal to, already on the right-hand side, there is a 14. So I'm going to transpose the -5 to the other side of the equation. It was a negative. The moment it crosses the equal sign, it becomes a positive 5. So that's it. 15 plus 4, that is 19, but we've got x there. 15 plus 4, that is 19. So 19x is equal to 19. What about x? What is x? Divide by 19. You're multiplying there. So you divide. So therefore, at the end, x is equal to 1. So this is the value of x that you have, which satisfies this equation. Be careful on each and every part that you are given. Each and every part that you need to understand this. So I want you to prove also and see if this gives you exactly what you have on the other side of the equation. So these are the questions that you have. If you have to check along this exercise, also number 5, there's 3 minus y into minus the bracket of y minus 3, which is equal to 6 plus y. So if you expand this bracket, if you have to check here, the 3 is not expanding this bracket. No, no, no. There is a number there, there is a -1 there. So meaning to say the part that is expanding this bracket is the -1, not the 3. Never be tempted also to subtract these two. No. Both must multiply first, brackets off. So this will be 3 -1, it multiplies the bracket. -1 times y, that is -y. -1 times a minus, that will be a +3. This is equal to 6 plus y. So let's combine our terms. Add 3 plus a 3, that is a 6. Minus y is equal to 6 plus a y. So it depends the way that you want to solve. If you want to remain with the variable here, which is the -y on the left-hand side, collect this y on this side, it becomes a negative because it was a positive. Then already on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, there is a 6 there. So if I transpose this 6 to this side, it becomes a negative on this side because it was a positive on the left-hand side. So the moment you transpose this, it becomes a positive. So this is -y minus y, which is same as -1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 is -2. So that's -2y is equal to 6 minus 6, which is a 0. So how do we solve now for y? So I'm going to divide by -2 by -2. 0 divided by any number, that's a 0. So it means y is supposed to be a 0 in order for us to say these two are the same. Okay, let's see what was going to happen if y is equal to 0 here. It was going to be like this. 3 minus the bracket of y there. Remember y, that's a 0 there. So it's 0 minus 3. It must be equal to the right-hand side. If y is a 0 there, that's 6 plus a 0. Okay. 3 minus 0 minus 3. That's 0 minus 3. That's a -3, which is equal to 6 plus a 0. That's a 6. So this is minus, minus. There's a minus, so it's going to be a plus. 3 plus 3, that's a 6, which is equal to 6. So as you can see, the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So that means this is true. The value of x that we determined there is true. So these are the typical questions. Like I said, you just have to be careful in your simplification. Try as many questions. Where you see that there is a challenge, let us communicate. On number 11, you're given 4 into the bracket of x. All right. Now, I do not know, is it a minus? All right. So this question, guys, there's a lot. I don't know. When I was just taking this PDF to this software, it removed a lot of things there. All right. Very sorry for that. So this one, I can't see what was here and what is also here. All right. Let's see number 10. Since I just wanted to have a last question, let us just see number 10. Number 10, that is the half of 2 plus 4x is equal to 7 into the bracket of x minus 1 minus 2. So there is a bracket. We have to expand the bracket. What is affecting the bracket? There is a half. It's a fraction, yes. But it's supposed to affect the bracket just like a 7. The -2 is nothing. There's nothing for this -2. There's nothing for that. So it is the half which is going to multiply the 2, which is going to multiply the 4x. So that's half of 2, which is 1. Or you can just use your calculator here. That is something like this, 1 over 2 times a 2. So 1 over 2 multiplied to a 2 like this. So this is going to give us a 1. All right, so this is going to give us a 1. Then 1 over 2 times 4x, you multiply to this 4. So that's 1 over 2 times a 4. And that is going to give us a 2. So this is positive 2x. All right, so this is equal to, you do the same thing on the right-hand side. There is a 7 that is affecting the bracket. So the 7 there has to multiply everything inside of the bracket. 7 times x, that was going to be 7x. 7 times -1, which is -7, and there is a -2. So the -2 is just there to be subtracted. There's nothing for this. It is not expanding anything. No, it is just there to be subtracted. So that is going to be 1 plus 2x, collecting the like terms on the left-hand side. we can see that we've got the constants there, the -7 and the -2. So these two can be combined together. We are going to have -7 minus 2, which is -9. Now we are back to the part of transposing. So it's up to you. Which side are you going to take? Is it the left-hand side? Guys, it's up to you. You can choose to remain with this 2x on this left-hand side. So that means I'm going to have a positive 2x. Transpose the 7x to this side, it becomes a negative towards a positive. So it's going to be negative 7x, which is equal to, on the right-hand side already, there is a -9 that I'm having there. So I'm going to start by that -9. Then I transpose the 1 to the right-hand side. It's a positive 1 here. So the moment that it crosses the equal sign, it becomes a negative. So this means this will be a -1. So that's it. I transpose 7x this side. You can transpose any way that you understand. We are going to have the same answers. You're going to have same answers. So 2 minus 7, that is -5x on your calculator. -9 minus 1 is going to give you a -10. So dividing by -5x so that we obtain the exact value of x, the equivalent value of x, which is going to give us a 2. So that is the possible value of x that we are supposed to have. With this value of x, if we are to test it, we are going to see that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. So here, we are not asked to prove this. Let us just put in our calculator. You can just prove on your calculator. This is 1/2. That's half of the bracket. 2 plus 4x. So this is 2 plus 4x means 4 times this number, which is 2. So 4 times 2 is what? Is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. So that's going to be a 5. So on the left-hand side, you're obtaining a 5. Let's do this on the right-hand side again and see if you're going to get a 5. 7 into the bracket of x minus 1. So this is 2 minus a 1 like this. We subtract the -2. This one is not part of this bracket. So we're going to get a 5, which is exactly the same as what we had on the left-hand side. So as you can see, this value of x is true. The value of x that we are having there is true. So like I said, there are so many questions for you guys to try. Just try as many questions as you can. Where you see that there is a challenge, let us communicate about that question so that we can be able to revise that question together. But for now, that's it till we meet again.